I hurry to his side as his crumpled body contracts into a fetal position. Jack! Blood trickles out of his hair onto his forehead. I don't feel so good, Hank. Then Jack's entire body jerks and convulses, and his eyes roll so far back in his head, all I can see is white. I shake him, but it does no good, and then foamy stuff starts bubbling out of his mouth. Holy shit, Cameron says again, gaping down at Jack. Leaning down, I place my ear near Jack's mouth to listen. Christ, he's not breathing. I reach up and shove Cameron to snap him out of his trance. Call 911, now! As Cameron fumbles for his phone, I dredge up a long-ago memory of learning CPR in Boy Scouts. Immediately, I start chest compressions, then wipe the foam off his lips, trying to blow air into his slack, reeking mouth without puking. I have no idea how long I'm doing this when I hear the sirens. Then I see the lights, and my own heart stops beating. Flashing lights, blue, red, blinding me, like that day with Rosie, in the intersection, in the car. I close my eyes against the lights, the noise, and Jack's blood. When I open them again, I see the accident all over again. Gray truck getting closer, then slamming into us. An explosion of color and terror, shattering glass and grinding metal. Ambulance, police car, lights, blue-red. And oh my god, so much blood. Scrambling backward now, away from the lights and sirens and the blood, I find my feet and spin away. Escape, the beast snarls in my ear. Run, now. I turn and run smack into a man in a blue uniform who grabs my upper arm in an iron grip. Hold on there, son. You're not going anywhere until we figure out what happened here. I struggle against him, but unable to bolt, my body surrenders, and I crumple to the ground near Jack. From somewhere far away, I hear Cameron's voice and the shouting EMTs, but I'm slipping away, the last forbidden memory detonating within me, like I stepped on a landmine. The gray truck is coming at us. The passenger door can't stop in time, trapped in Mom's Toyota with its growling muffler and Rosie inside. Thin door of metal and glass, not enough to protect her. My world collapses on impact. My forehead smashes into the windshield, breaking glass. Rosie is screaming. Save her. Little blonde ballerina in pink is broken. Legs twisted under the crushed front of the car. Bone and torn flesh. One leg is cut and bleeding. The other, somehow, is not there. Broken ballerina. Crooked, one-legged ballerina in a jewelry box. Music tinny and distorted before it grinds to a terrible, silent halt. Hey, buddy, can you open your eyes for me? A stranger's voice. It's gonna be okay. We're taking you and your friend to the hospital. My eyes fly open to stare at the silhouette of a man in shadows leaning over me, blue and red lights swirling behind him. Rather than love, than money, than fame, give me truth, which is the true wealth. Strange. Someone's quoting Thoreau. What did he say? I never found the companion that was so companionable as solitude. Then I realize I'm the one quoting Henry, to calm myself, to make space from the memory of the accident, the ballerina, alive but broken. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams, and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. What is this kid talking about? From somewhere near his left shoulder, I hear Cameron telling another officer. His name's Hank. I don't know his last name. Hank, says the police officer. Did you take anything tonight that might have made you sick? Have you been drinking? Henry's words are beads in a rosary, my desperate prayers. The universe is wider than our views of it. He might have just passed out when he saw what bad shape his friend is in, says an EMT. He doesn't exhibit signs of drug or alcohol abuse. I think the kid's just in shock. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation, I whisper, shutting my eyes tight. So sorry, Rosie, Mom, Dad. So sorry. I failed you all. And I will myself just slip away, just die in that moment on the ground outside Henry David Thoreau Regional High School. Let me die. Not till we have lost the world do we begin to find ourselves. Someone wheels a gurney over to where I'm lying on the ground, and the EMTs reach burly arms down, ready to lift me onto it and shoot me off to Emerson Hospital. But no, I can't give in. Waving away their arms, I scramble to my feet. Can't let them take me. It's not time yet. There's that thing I still have to do. What was that again? Haley. I promised Haley. Something. I'm okay, I say quickly, and make my rubber legs hold me up to prove it. Really, I'm fine. The cop and the EMT look at each other. You need to get checked out of the hospital, the cop says gently. I shake my head adamantly. I clear my throat and gather my wits. Is Jack all right? I finally say. He probably will be, the EMT says. His vital signs are stable now, thanks to you. Do you happen to know what he took? I tell them everything I know, which isn't a whole lot, about the pills from Magpie and about the prescription drugs he stole from Thomas's medicine cabinet. We're going to need to take a statement, so even if you refuse medical care, we need to take you to the station, the cops tell me, then turns to say something into the radio on his shoulder. But I have to perform. I need to get inside. I jet a thumb toward the school, indicating the muffled pounding of bass and guitar, the wail of a singer's voice. I'm probably up next. Can't let my friends down. My voice lacks emotion, a stiff robot version of myself. The cop pulls off his cap, wipes sweat from his forehead with the sleeve of his jacket, and looks at me doubtfully. You're sure you're up to this? You're like you could collapse at any second. No, it's cool. I'm fine. But my hands are shaking, and in truth, I wonder how I'll manage to play the guitar now. Still, I need to get away from these cops and avoid talking about Jack, which is just going to lead to a can of worms I'm not ready to open. As soon as I tell the police my story, everything will be out, and I'll be done. Just give me your name, and we'll talk immediately afterward, okay? Yes, sir. I'm Hank, I say. Davidson. He writes this down. Still not ready to be Danny. Not yet. When he asks for an address and a phone number, I go ahead and give him Thomas's. Can't think of any lie that sounds reasonable. Besides, by the time they come looking for me, it won't matter. I watch as the EMTs roll Jack's gurney into the ambulance, close the back doors, and drive off, blue and red lights still rolling, making me queasy. I press back the memories of Rosie and the accident, push them far away, and there's nothing more to do, so I turn toward the school in a daze. Hardly feel my own feet shuffling through the gravel or my hand on the cold metal door. As soon as I enter the back hallway of the school, I'm bombarded with bright lights and amplified music. It's like stepping into another world, unconnected and unaware of what just went down outside. With the loud music coming from the stage, it's unlikely anybody heard the shouts or the sirens. I feel like an alien, stumbling with squinted eyes into a surreal universe where I don't belong. Miss Coleman spots me in the hallway and gestures at me like crazy. Hank, there you are, she shouts in a shrill voice. Come on, you're up next. She ushers me toward the wings, where Ryan, Sam, and Haley are standing together, waiting for one of the bands on the stage, a heavy metal group, to wrap up. Waiting for me. Panicked looks give way to relief and anger as soon as they see me. Miss Coleman hands me my guitar, and I stand next to the members of Carpe Diem. I sling the guitar strap over my shoulder and avoid looking at anyone. Jesus, about time, Ryan says. Hank, says Haley. She's standing there in her slinky black outfit, trembling hands clutching a plastic water bottle. Afraid, beautiful, angry. Where the hell have you been? I gesture vaguely. Outside. She squints at me in the muted backstage light. Oh my god, look at you. You've got dirt on your face. Did you and Cameron get into a fight? Furious, she yanks a tissue out of her pants pocket, saturates it with water from her bottle, and wipes at my face. I wince as she finds some scraped spots on my nose. I knew it, she murmurs to herself. It's not about Cameron, I tell her. She reaches into my messy hair, tries to make me look presentable, flicks angry green eyes at me. Then what happened to you out there? Too much to tell you right now, I whisper, and my eyes burn with acid tears. Haley finishes finger-combing my hair and looks into my face. I don't know what she sees there, but the anger lifts, replaced by concern. You okay, Hank? She presses her red lips together. I look into her pretty face and find myself unable to lie. I don't know. She grabs my hands and squeezes tight. concern gives way to something deeper, and she presses her forehead against mine. Listen, Hank, when we get out there, pretend it's just us, together, in the White Room, okay? She says in a soft, soothing voice. Just you and me and you, making music. I nod, absorbing her words, but unable to respond. Okay, Carpe Diem, Miss Coleman says, practically pushing the four of us onto the stage. Get out there, you're next. We walk onto the darkened side of the stage and find our places just as any group on the spotlighted half begins to play. I can't seem to register anything they're doing. Can't identify the music, can't hear progressions or lyrics. My senses paralyzed. As if in slow motion, I turn my attention to the guitar, Thomas's Butterscotch Telecaster, and plug it into the amp. Try to get centered, focus, can't screw up. Have to push everything else on my mind away. My past, my future, everything. Put it all in a box, lock it shut, and place a beast on guard in front of it. I know how to do that, right? The group before us finishes their tune, and I'm vaguely aware of applause while I go through the opening chords of Blackbird in my head. Come on, I can do this. I know this song in my sleep, even knew it in the strange sleep of amnesia when I didn't know my own name. The lights come up, and it's time for me to play. The crowd is quiet, expectant, a blur of faces. So many faces waiting for me to do something. Anything. My fingers are cramped, curled like claws above the guitar. Can't play a note, can't do it, can't move. A dark wave threatens to take me under. The crowd is silent, holding its breath. They don't realize it's me who's falling apart in front of them. Instead, they're probably wondering if Haley's going to have an insulin reaction and pass out again. I imagine Miss Coleman with her cell phone in hand, ready to dial 911. Heart thundering in my ears, I screw my eyes tight, try to concentrate, try to move my fingers, my frozen fingers, and conjure music that won't come. I'm failing Haley, and I can't do a thing about it. But then, the silence is broken by the sound of a voice. A girl's silky alto voice. At first, I'm so lost in my own head that I don't recognize the voice or the song. But it cuts through my panic, and I recognize that it's Haley, singing Blackbird a cappella without me. Her voice soars to the rafters, so beautiful.